he just is off the lead. Argentine's Emilio Grillo out front at 7 under par on the 7th hole. Walker tied with British Open champ Henrik Stenson, 1 stroke back. Fellow American Patrick Reed and Martin Kaymer are tied for 3rd. Okay, keeping with the sports theme here, we are just weeks away from the start of the 2016 NFL season, and all 32 teams are heading back to camp this week. A big focus during the offseason with a number of players who decided to retire. Now, some of them, like Peyton Manning, retired after a very lengthy career, but many younger players called it quits after just a few seasons, citing fears of the damage that numerous concussions will have later on in their lives. The NFL and the Players Union have agreed with the league upon new concussion protocols, but will that be enough to keep players around for longer than what is now just a very short average of 3.3 years? Joining me now, Sports Business Journal NFL writer and finance editor Dan Kaplan. You know, Dan, enough guys have quit the NFL in numbers so much that they could form a 33rd team at this point. They've retired early. This is now becoming something extremely serious, isn't it?
We have to look at those like Boland, Eric Boland, who was the San Francisco 49er, who truly retired unexpectedly and young. And those players advanced in their careers who perhaps were not getting the contracts that they wanted, such as the guard for the New York Jets, who retired unexpectedly, DeBrickashaw Ferguson. So there's a distinction. Yes, you could cite a whole team of players, but there are those players who said, you know, unless you pay me a lot more money, I'm not going to play anymore. It's not that the health was the real issue. It was they wanted more money and didn't get it.
Well, I'll tell you something. Money is going toward this concussion issue. You now have paid independent spotters who will be sitting in, I guess, the upper press boxes, scanning the fields, correct? Scanning for any disoriented players, pull them off the field, because these guys are used to hiding if they have a bit of a jangled head after one really bad hit, because they want to stay in the game.
The spotters were in place last year, and yes, a big part of the problem is the players want to stay in, because if they get taken out, they could lose their job, and that has happened.
What do you think about the fact that the Ivy League teams, starting this year, will not have any body-body contact during practice or during the preseason?
I think it's great, because all the evidence shows that a lot of these injuries get sustained during practice.
Do you think that the NFL will follow this lead?
It's going to be very hard to get the coaches to come along. They're already very upset with the limitations in practice that were put in place in the last round of collective bargaining.
Let's get to the Olympics. We're 1 week away. This has become an extreme study in the frivolous, which is the outfits, which came out today for the American team. And then on the other side, the Zika virus, the concerns about polluted water. First to the outfits, these are done by Ralph Lauren. Your thought here?
Well, they look like they're ready to get on a yacht, the American team. But look, Ralph Lauren does the opening, the closing ceremonies, the different federations, be it track and field, tennis, golf, they have their own outfits. So polo is just one element here.
Well, let's just quickly touch upon one team. I want our viewers to take a look at this. You want to talk about Ralph Lauren being a top designer. Christian Louboutin is a top French designer who agreed to outfit Cuba's team. Wow. I mean, that is an interesting move for Louboutin to have done that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But look, but Dan, you were noticing the actual stadium itself.
Right. It looks like, I don't think my kids' Little League team would want to play there. It looks pretty bad.
A little decrepit anyway. Yeah. Do you get a sense, though, because, you know, you have the rowing team uniforms that have actually been designed to protect the rowers from polluted waters?
Look, this is a disgrace. This Olympics is a disgrace, whether it's the venues that aren't ready, the athletes' village, the pollution that was promised to be cleaned up. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, is going to have to take a different approach to how it selects these host cities.
Does NBC make money or lose money?
Look, as a TV product, it makes money. The issues in Rio does not affect the profit for NBC.
All right, Dan, good to see you.
Good
Thank you very much. Dan Kaplan, Sports Business Journal, NFL writer and finance editor.